Hi, I'll be going over the Umpire process for basic calculator. So for the understand step, we're given a string. We're given a string such as s equals. So we're given a string of numbers, and it can also contain parentheses, and plus signs and minus signs. Then our output, we want our output to be the result of adding the numbers in the string. So for example, if we're given s equals 1 plus 1, the output should be 2. Then if we're given the input as s equals 2 minus 1 plus 2, the output should be 3. If we're given input as s equals 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 minus 3. Plus 6 plus 8, then the output should be 23. So in terms of matching, I don't think I've seen this problem before, but I think I have seen similar problems. Where you have a string, and have to do operations on the numbers. Then the way I'm thinking about doing it is like using some sort of like stack list. Let's say stack list, and then multiplying numbers by 10, right? Just to like add it to variables, depending if like it's a number with multiple digits. So set match plan. So my plan, I'm thinking like I would use a stack. So use a stack list. So use a stack list to keep track of numbers and signs. And then we would set a number variable to 0. And then create a variable keeping track of the sign. And then create a variable that will hold the numbers based on their sign. So after we create those variables, we'll use a loop to iterate over the string. So if the element is a digit. Have the number variable add it to the number variable. Add it to the, so I would multiply the number variable by 10. So we start with 0, and then depending on our numbers, right, we'll keep increasing if it's a multiple digit number. So multiply the number variable by 10, and add the element to that variable. If the element is a plus sign, add the number times the sign variable to the total. And then set our temporary. Yeah, I guess we would say like subtotal, like numbers like a subtotal, or like temporary. Set our subtotal. So this would be number, so I want to go back and change it. So set our totals. So saying number subtotal variable to 0. And then we're using 1. We'll use 1 to keep track of our sign. So change sign to 1. Okay, and then otherwise, if our element is a minus sign, then we'll add our subtotal variable to our total multiplied by sign, and then we'll set num. We'll set our subtotal variable. We might call it num total variable to 0, and then we'll change our sign variable. Change sign to negative. So then otherwise, if the element is open parentheses, so like it's facing to the right, parentheses, and then so otherwise if the element is an open parentheses, then we'll add the result to our stack. We'll add our sign to the stack. By result, I mean like, well, at the total. I mean the total. Just add our sign to the stack. We'll change our total to equal 0, and then have our sign be positive. And so if the element is a closing parentheses, then we'll have we'll add our number times its sign times the sign to our total. We'll change our subtotal to 0, and then we'll have we'll have our total. So we'll multiply the total by the end of the stack. So there should be like the last sign. It should be its sign. So multiply total by the end of the stack. So sign, and then add to our total what's in the stack after. Then at the end we'll just we'll add our number multiplied by sign to the total to get the last number, and then we just return our total. Okay, so for implement, so we'll say like our stack, we have our stack list, and then we'll set like our subtotal equals 0. Then we'll have our sign variable equal 1, and have our total equal 0. So we'll iterate over the loop for char ns. I don't know, use char. Let's say like e. For e and s, so we'll check if it's a number. E that is digit. Then we'll just add to our subtotal. So subtotal we multiply by 10, and then we want to convert the element to an integer because it's a string. Then otherwise, if we see a plus sign, so otherwise if we see a plus sign, we'll add to our total. So we'll multiply sign by like the subtotal, and we just want to reset those variables. So subtotal 0, and sign equals +1. Then otherwise, if we see a minus sign, so otherwise if we see a minus sign, we want to add to our total what our sign and our minus our total. No, this is add. No, sorry. So this is add our sign times like our subtotal, and then we want to reset subtotal equals 0, and have our sign equal -1. Okay. And otherwise, if we see open parentheses, we want to add to our stack what's in our total, and then we'll add to our stack our current sign. Then we reset our total to be 0, and we'll have sign be reset to positive. And so if we see close parentheses, we'll have our total equal the subtotal. We'll reset our subtotal to 0. Then we'll multiply our total by our sign in our stack. So we'll use stack.pop. Then we'll add to our total what's in the stack. So stack.pop also. Then at the end of the loop, we'll just add to our total one more time. Total plus equals sign times subtotal. And then we just return the results. So let's try it out. I'll run it. Whoops. Oh. Whoops. So this should be, I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so that should be E. Let's see if it works. Name result. Oh, whoops. It should be total. Oh, darn it. Let's see. For E and S. For E and S, if E dot is digit, so we have our stack, we have our subtotal, sign, and our total. And for E and S, so we're iterating on a loop. We check if E is a digit. If it is, we have our subtotal multiplied by 10, and we add E. If we see a plus sign, we add to our total our subtotal multiplied by its sign. We reset subtotal and sign. Okay, looks good. Then if E is equal to a minus sign, we add to our total sign multiplied by the subtotal. We reset our subtotal. Then we make our sign negative. Then we check if we have open parentheses. If we do, we append our current total and our current sign. Then we reset total to 0, and we have sign equal 1. Otherwise, if we see a close parentheses, I forgot to put plus here. So we should be adding it. Shouldn't be just equal. Let's see if this works now. Okay, nice. So it looks like it works. Great. Then I'll submit it. So yeah, we were able to get it work. Looks like the solution is solid. It works. In terms of evaluate, so let's evaluate. I believe space is O of n because we use the stack. and that will depend on the length of our input. But otherwise, and we use like total, which stores numbers. This will also depend. Well, actually, total won't. I mean, I'm not sure if integers like the capacity, but I'm not sure how that works. But I know with stack, it's like our main O of n space, and because of stack, we're adding based on the length of our list to our stack. And then in terms of time, so we're able to do it in one loop, and then that loop will depend on the length of our string also. So I believe this is also a little bit. Okay, thank you. That's my solution for basic calculator.